Right, welcome back everyone. Sorry about the delay. We had connection problems, we had toilet issues. One of the team had to go and change his colostomy bag. So we're back now and everything should be smooth. Hopefully the stream's coming through smooth for you. And it's myself, Colt, and Nutmega casting this practice match of playing in the Highlander for the ETF2 League. The real match being on Monday night.
Yeah, so this is just a bit of fun, and as much as anything, it's for me and Colt and Jim to sort out what we're doing on our end, so we get a nice, smooth, entertaining cast out to you guys.
Absolutely. So really appreciate feedback, guys. Don't just want you to blow smoke up our asses. If I was just gibbering away and talking crap that you didn't want to hear, then you should say so. And if Nutmega was far too technical and meta, then you should also say so.
I think a few of the guys were upset that I was not only technical but wrong with my recalling of ABBA format. Lots of people have been calling me up on that. Apparently it's just a best of 3 thing, but not relevant for this match. Let's get to this match, shall we?
No, for sure. That made me laugh though, because when you're doing this, especially when we're not exactly got any experience of doing this, just got experience of gibbering really, and so it's kind of like it's not always easy to talk sense. That's probably the best thing to say. You can kind of like we'll get better, we promise.
So, with a view to that, let's start talking about what's happening in this game. It seems that both teams are quite content to wait for their numbers to replenish before they attack again. You see that heavy medic not in a strong position to attack either side, just sticking in the middle. But and a spy snipe goes down. 2 stabs from backstabs. My God, is he having a good?
That's lovely play. He has been playing outstandingly.
And I think that's opened the opportunity for everyone else to come back in.
Absolutely, important work.
The Uber gets popped down for the medic, but it's only on the scout because he's the only guy around. It would have been really nice to have a soldier or a demo there so he could jump right up and get into that heavy space. But scout double jump isn't going to make that high.
Now I'm not familiar with this map. It's a map that's been used mostly in the competitive scene. I don't know if you've played it much yourself or if you know much about it.
It is in the stock rotation at the moment. It was used as a competitive map for quite a while, but I don't know, it never really caught on in pub play because it's quite technical. There's a mixture of different spaces and its splash damage isn't so effective because it's all quite wide open.
Yeah, my lack of knowledge of the game, that's probably explained by StarCraft 2 actually, but red team wins.
Quite a convincing victory there, and quite well done taking each point in turn, making sure the whole of the team was there before they went forward. That's how you win a TF2.
And do you want to explain the game mechanic here on this map, just for people who may be watching who haven't actually played TF2 but have stumbled across this VOD at some point?
Yeah, sure, I can do that with pleasure. Basically, TF2, most maps in TF2 revolve around capture points. These are points on which you have to stand in order to take possession of. There's a certain timer that goes down, and you have to stand there with none of the opposing team on, and that's how you get a point. And when you get the point, you can move forward to the next point, and the next point, and then eventually you'll get the last point, and that will be your round. And that's what we call the... So it doesn't have anything to do with kill-to-death ratios. It's all just about the objectives. 5 cap games. Basically you have a symmetrical map with 5 caps, the middle one being the first one that is left neutral at the start of the game. We just saw red cap there, and then basically they have to push further and further back into the blue team's advantage. The caps get progressively more difficult to the outside.
So it's not like we saw before where you've got one team that has playing defense, one team attacking. Lovely play by Red. It's where you can go either way. Whoever takes the middle point then gets the momentum and can go and win the game.
Yeah, but it can just as easily swing back and forward. And in fact, the decisions that people make to be defensive or aggressive, if you're only attacking, you're only aggressive. If you're only defending, you're only defensive. So those sorts of decisions can make it for a much more dynamic and, well, confusing game.
Yeah. We see that a lot on input play when maps that play with this dynamic can go on for a long time. Some of the longest games I've played on TF2.
Oh yeah, I've definitely had rounds of Badlands of 5-cap that have just gone on for the entire round time, and then somebody wins eventually because the server gets fed up and it just wants to change map.
And the server decides.
You gotta love a good server win.
Absolutely. Lovely play by Red here, really strong. Certainly aggressive. Certainly pushing forward with their damage dealing classes. The scout, the demo man, the heavy medic, all keeping fairly near.
That was a lovely sticky trap which caught out the demo, one of the power classes you need to get rid of.
Really nice. And the spies down. Very important dancers. Blue trying to take this back. Clawing their way back into this game.
Dancer's doing a good job of using the dead ringer to keep himself alive as long as possible, but in that situation, that was an actual death.
It was so many loadouts, so many different spells almost in TF2 these days, but the dead ringer, one of the most effective if you can use it properly.
Oh, easily. There's about 100. Are we up to 200 weapons by now?
I think there must be, yeah. I've lost count.
We're easily up to 300 hats, and that's the important thing.
It's all about the hats. TF2, the biggest fancy dress competition on the internet. And Blue are looking strong here.
Well, Red have just charged in with their Uber coming up slightly earlier, but it looks like Camo managed to retreat back with a 90% Uber, so he's got his Uber, and there's a good defense. Deployment of Uber time is often a critical thing that you just have to get right in this game. And generally you want to deploy your Uber later than the other team. You want them to force earlier, which gives you the seconds of advantage. Cav wasn't doing it deliberately there, he just didn't have the Uber yet, but he managed to stay alive, and that's what gave him the advantage at the end of the game.
Yeah, for sure. And that was a lovely take. At that point in particular,
that was a beautiful little ninja flank by the medic and heavy team. I don't know if you can see this on point 2.
just tuned in. Very nice.
Now Blue could get aggressive here. Red have not got many players.
I feel like they need to. I feel like Red are very firmly in control here. They're getting that sentry down nice and quickly all the time. They don't seem to lose much momentum. Blue are fighting hard, but Red seem to have it for sure.
Blue often getting caught not acting quite as coherently and concentrating their firepower.
And I think this is probably just that the Red team is, of course, the home team, the A team, and is more practiced, and every single member is from the team, as opposed to Blue, which is made up of some of the team and other.
I think that speaks volumes actually, because they haven't had that many hours of practice as a team, but it's really showing what can happen if you start to try and work together quite quickly. So if you're playing in any pub game, really you can get the game going into another level that will beat the team down other team down every single time. Absolutely,
it's showing just the way they're keeping certain classes together, the way they have. I know that Almighty Bob, the team coach, has insisted on having partners, so there's always someone looking after you. It's a good little strategy. Don't know what happens to the 9th person, but I guess that's the medic, and everyone looks after them.
Oh, you got to look after your medic, otherwise you will not be popular. The Heavy doing a good job of tanking all the damage as an Uber, whilst the other classes come in and take out that centre.
Absolutely. General mayhem, fires, explosions and gunshot, etc.
And another excellent defence from Blue.
Alert. The control point point is being captured.
I mean, I haven't played this map, at least full in competitive play, but I can imagine half the appeal is that the last point is defendable, and obviously quite successfully. Something you don't often see in 5-point maps. The last point often falls very, very quickly.
Oh yeah, a lot of ninja scouts and ninja spies absolutely just ruining the game, in my opinion, sometimes on some 5-point map.
And I'm loving, a sticky heresy, unfortunately taken down then, but I was loving his wrangling of the sentry at the over the point. Nice quick thinking. So blue really need to push out from their final point here. But red are just not making it easy. It does look to me a little bit like blue are sitting back waiting to defend the last point, where you wonder whether that's a good strategy.
Alert. The control point is being captured.
Generally, this is a game of numbers, so if you can take down more of them than they do of you, then it's worth pushing out, and I don't see that initiative being taken.
No, and red have had plenty of time to build up this Uber. Use it upon the demo, get to the point.
Point is being contested.
I think as soon as that heavy's gone down, they've lost that point.
Oh, this is a lovely play. A beautiful take by the red team, and I think, for me, a lack of aggression on blue's part lost them that.
Oh, definitely. It was they had done all the hard work and built up all the opportunities, but then struggled to have the confidence to move forward and get that next point.
Yeah.
So that's actually a win for the red team now. This is a best of 5 format. Yes, it's 5 cap, but it's also best of 5 for each round. And it's 3-0 to red.
Right, so that's a convincing bit of play by Place to Fade team. Very promising. I think possibly telling of the map as well, because it is a newish map. The members of the team who aren't regular members of the team who are playing on blue side haven't played it quite so much.
Time has been.
That said, when as a TF2 player at Place has not played any map too much, it's probably not true at all. Red just playing the more organised game.
Exactly, but it does make the difference. Some interesting loadouts coming out from red now. There's generally loadouts which are deemed to be uncompetitive, because they can be a bit weaker. If you look, Sloth has switched up to be a demo knight there. And Boily as well, so they're going demo knight v demo.
Control point is being captured.
Well, hopefully that shows a sense of humour. Plus, it's safe to lose now if you're playing demo night without losing any dignity.
Alert. The control point is
Either that or they're
Unfortunately
just
for some of
passive
us, that's
aggressive.
our first option.
Yes. So the match is over. That makes it a draw to me. 1-1. A team versus B team. 1 map each.
Well, the format of the tournament is that basically you play against 5 other teams, and you play 2 games against each team, and then you total up your wins across all of those. So if this was part of the tournament, then you'd each of those 2 teams would basically keep their level pegging up a notch.
Okay, right. So it's not 1 point for a draw. It's you get a point for every win and a point for yeah, and nothing.
Well, the idea
if you
is
lose.
that no particular round can draw.
Okay. Explain that to me, because my slow brain is having confusion with the idea that 1-1 isn't a draw.
Well, basically, that's not the end of the story, is it? If it's 1-1 between 2 teams, then you've got to consider what they've done against all the other teams to decide who
Okay.
wins the tournament.
Sure.
It's
Because
like
of
Man
co-
United
yeah,
playing at home versus Newcastle,
it's-
winning a game
it's-
and then losing when they go away.
Oh yes, it's like every league.
Pretty much.
Thinking about it, yeah.
Alert. Our control point is being captured.
So yeah, I guess officially our duties as casters is over. This is just for fun, but we'll stick around. We're keeping watching the game, but I'm certainly not making any effort to be too informative.
Alert. The control
That's what I like about you, your ambition.
Thank you. Yes. I was just enjoying watching it, actually, specking from all the different players' positions. It's not something I do when I'm casting, because I like to just be relaxed and not studying the game quite as in depth as this.
Certainly,
shut
it is a lot to keep up with.
There is. It's pretty difficult casting TF2, I reckon. There is just so much going on. But as long as we can pick up on the most important bits of the plays, and that will come with practice, then I think we'll be doing good to go.
Zero now with the Uber.
Our control point is being captured. The control point is being contested.
There you go, that's how you use a heavy Uber.
Maximum effect. Lovely work from the sniper there, though.
Control point is being captured.
Sloth throwing the Girati, then following up with the Huntsman to the head for the medic.
The medic can get a bit overconfident is the thing, after an Uber, because they've got to remember they've still only got 150 health, even though that heavy has got like 450 or something.
Alert. The control point
Yeah, for sure. And generally after an Uber they've ended up in a fairly dangerous place to be. That's the point where you want your teammates to turn up, but it doesn't always happen.
alert. The control point is being
Medic very much a trusting class.
Our control point is being captured.
Lovely takedown by Seret. A very sneaky spy.
It's one of the things you want to do as spy is wait until that heavy's distracted, shooting at somebody else and not about to spin round and get you, and then go in for your backstab.
I can pass no comment on the spy class. I've played hundreds of hours of every class but spy. I think I've done about 3 hours of it, and I just didn't get on with it. Too complicated for me.
Well, speaking of things that are a bit too complicated, I've stopped playing Spy recently because I bought a fancy little keyboard hand thing, and Spy involves too many buttons that on the actual mini controller, so I've stopped playing Spy just to
Classic.
use my little fancy device.
And that's the way it should be.
The control point is being contested.
It's got
Technology
neon lights, man. I
dictating
want to
life.
use it. Oh, he's not going to get that heavy again in the same fashion.
I think the pyro's gonna.
So I wonder if these guys are tempted to play out another map.
I'm really not sure. They seem to be enjoying themselves.
I just want to nudge.
And CWC, I might be mistaken, but I think that's the clan we played last week.
We have played them.
Well, it's good to
No,
see we
isn't it?
didn't fall out.
Was that was Bros, wasn't it? That we were playing last week. Is CWC the next one?
Maybe I'm mistaken. It was the Lambrini boys last week, wasn't it? And their tag was Bose, but I remember us playing a CW guy. Maybe it was the match before and we weren't commentating. It's just
Medic's always an interesting multitasking game, and Calmogger seems to be watching the stream and asking about and commenting on my casting as well as playing Medic. So I don't know what that's about.
Alert. Our control point is being captured. You failed.
and it's good to see the PlayStation A team really seem to have this map not cracked, because it's taking them a little bit of time to take that with the final push, but they've got the momentum.
Well, I wouldn't be too complacent because it's all about the team you're playing against.
Of course.
Alert. The control point is being contested.
Just wondering if I should officially explain the principle of ABBA play, but I think that would just bore everyone.
We could use it for a little "What is ABBA" video. Take a highlight of it.
You know, I was actually reading it, and then I just got bored and started listening to, you know, The Winner Takes It All and things like that. Just because it was reminding me of.
Alert. The control point is being captured.
Blue taking the middle point first this time.
Our control point is being captured.
There's a lot of capped on
Sadly
the middle
not.
point. I want to see it cap. And it looks like there's going to be no cookies for.
Time has been added.
Oh, that's always so disheartening.
Is being contested.
But really good play by Red. Really realising the importance of height on this map, especially at the second to last point on each side. So do you think you've got a man of the match?
Oof, let me think. I think Dancers was doing a bloody good job.
Alert. The control
Yeah, I wouldn't argue with that. In key positions, at key times, he's taken down key players, the medic and heavy, the obvious ones, but even spy on spy has been effective. So
Yeah, the medic and the heavy have certainly been doing the textbook thing, you know, Jimmy and Zero, and just getting every Uber working basically for them. And so, you know,
They
that's an important skill to recognise. But I think you can see something special from spies is the thing. You know, it's not so textbook, and that's
No,
why
for
I'd award it to
sure.
Dan.
it's difficult to play spy well, and when you're playing spy in a vaguely competitive game, you know, everyone's paranoid about you, they're all looking to kill you. It's really difficult.
Yeah, every third chat on the vent is spy.
Yeah.
They know exactly where you.
Yeah, both teams have been calling really well actually, which is good. Letting their teammates know where everyone is, what health everyone's on. Really, really useful stuff like that when you're playing it in a competitive game, and can make all the difference. Unfortunately, I'd say that the Blue don't take advantage of the information they have enough, and they need to be thinking less defensively on this map for sure. The points cap quickly, you know. There you go. That one's done now to the middle. And Sloth it's nearly doing something really useful that the other team has actually been doing. That is just taking once you take that second to last point, just making sure you stay up on the high ground for a little bit to keep it clear while your teammates cap the next point.
Exactly. Back capping is absolutely vicious in this game mode because the second point's capped so much quicker than the middle. So you can put all that effort and players into the middle, and it will take a long time to cap that point. But then a quick, cheeky little spy with his +2 cap speed comes in, and he just takes the back cap right from under you.
I have to say, I'm really impressed with the Source Auto Director on Source TV with this game, because whilst we've got Jim who's doing the camera work for the live stream, in order that we don't miss out on any of the action, we've got a caster's overlay. But also we're using the just default auto director, and it's really good at not missing any action, I think.
You're using the auto director. I'm flying around like a lunatic at the moment.
I was earlier on, but I just tried it again, and it is really good. It doesn't miss the action, and it pans out if there's a suitable moment and that kind of thing.
Alert. Our control point is being captured.
Damn you, Cowmugger! He's betraying me. If you look in the bottom left, I'm trying to convince him to play another game, and he's like, "Nope, said so." And I'm like, "Don't say I said so," you know.
Control point is being contested.
Give them the choice of map. They don't have to play this map, do they? Although this is a pretty epic map.
You're liking that, are you?
I'm just liking the simplicity of it. I'm a big fan of simple maps, really, and this appeals to me because of that. You know, the layout is fair. It's linear. It's there's height. I play Demo Man most, so I always like a map with height. But I think more than that, it's well suited to the game mode and well suited to competitive play.
The control point is being captured.
Well, it's not the prettiest maps, but I think it gets a lot of the basics right.
Yeah, and I do appreciate beautifully aesthetic level design and maps. But on the other hand, really, it's always about gameplay for me. Even in a game such as Counter-Strike Source, a map as dull as Dust or Dust 2, it was still my favourite map. Because the gameplay was so good on it. It was so suited to competitive games and scrimming. Dust 1, I think they've improved a great deal for Counter-Strike Go. Looks really nice. But yeah, we're not here to talk about Counter-Strike, are we?
When's that game coming? Whilst we're not talking about Counter-Strike, when's it coming out?
Well, it's in closed beta for a while now, and then they're going to release an open beta, and they expect it to be in beta for quite a while. The developers have kind of specifically said they're releasing it quite early in the development cycle into beta. It's really alpha, but they're going to leave it in beta for quite a while and keep taking feedback from Source and 1.6 players so that they can make it the best compromise possible and a game that they'll want to swap from.
But will it have hats?
It won't have hats. You'll be disappointed to hear. It will have gun game inbuilt, which is really cool.
Control point is being captured.
And the other thing they're going to be doing, which is going to be interesting, is allowing console gaming, the console version and the PC version in the same leagues. The leagues are set by ability, and the feeling is probably that if you're not using a mouse, you're not going to have the accuracy, so your ability will be lower. But it'll be interesting to see if some console players can disprove what we all think and show us that actually, no, you can get just as quick with the controller as you can with a mouse and beat PC players at Counter-Strike, which I'd say I'll eat my hat or shave my head the day that happens, but I fear that either one is too inevitable.
I feel it's going to be either very embarrassing for one player or the other.
Absolutely, yeah. I still think that there's no way any other device, well, certainly not a game controller, can be as accurate as a mouse.
Especially with the amount of technology they're putting into mouses these days. I mean, I was looking at a Rat 9 the other day, because, I mean, I don't usually go for top of the range, but I want a wireless mouse game. Damn it, I prefer them. And the amount of weight distribution and pad adjustment is just crazy on some mice.
It's absolute. The rat in particular is just a Meccano lover's dream, isn't it? It's hugely customizable with weights and knobs to turn to change the size of it. And
exactly. I mean, I'm never going to use any of that stuff, but it's nice to know that I can.
I must admit, I mean, like, I've had 4 now, but I use the Logitech G5 with a full stack of weights inside it, and I do like that. It's a nice, it's like a rock, but it's kind, I kind of, that's how I like to, I like a heavy mouse, so perfect for me. You're being told off in chat that spies don't have +2 cap.
I must have grouped them together with the scouts when I was talking about backcapping. I apologise profusely if anybody turns up to play spy and they don't get the point, and they were expected to get the point in half the time because Nut said so. I mean, no, you're going to be disappointed.
Yeah, it's not like Post hasn't played a couple of thousand hours of TF2 himself and is actually quite a decent spy. Okay, so you've got to say that the blue team's going to be feeling pretty disheartened at this point. They've tried ever so hard this game. It's been a really good game, but here we go. The spy for the red team. Dances
you and your foregone conclusion.
Yeah, but that was hilarious. If only he'd had +1 on his cap time, eh?
Alright.
And it's Battle of the Ubers here, but blue seem to have it.
Not a lot of red players dead at the moment. I'm a bit surprised they're pushing out. Oh, there's a pyro back there. Do they know about it?
This is looking very dangerous indeed.
Red are losing players now, though. And what have they got left at the moment? An engineer, a spy, a sniper, heavy and a medic.
I'm watching Dances with backstabs now, and you just know he's going to do something dangerous.
You're cool.
And there he goes. Takes down the medic. Retreats to safety. He's not full. No fool. He's got the important kill.
I've just got some very exciting news coming through. They're actually going to play a 3rd round, and it's going to be a payload map. They haven't decided which one yet.
Superb.
And everybody nice and polite, dropping the GGs.
That's what I like to see. Okay, so we're going to go into a break, and we're going to change maps, get ready, and we'll see you back here in a few minutes.
Don't go anywhere.